Hi everyone, welcome to Healing Journeys. My name is Christelle Ahia, and on this channel I share knowledge content related to indigenous knowledge, more specifically indigenous knowledge systems of Africa and its diaspora. Well, as you can see, I'm outside. Yes, the time again for outdoors video. As I work, I would like to share a reminder or an insight on how much it is important to stay connected or to reconnect to our other than humans friends, especially when we face like any kind of difficulties. This practice um, will help with emotional regulation, nervous system regulation. And I also would like to highlight that it is directly connected to the way that in indigenous knowledge systems we have been practicing sciences. And even in modern Western sciences, observation is really important. And for that, you need to be on the field, right? To observe and understand what is happening. And so, spending time with our relatives, other than humans, help us to see how they interact with each other, how they interact with other species, and even how they like how they live in a sense of observing their life cycle, right? Um, like we know that in winter, such a place, I'm just turning around for you to see it, such a place um, doesn't look the same. And it's the same in fall, now it's spring here, it will be the same in summer. So they have cycles. We do have cycles too. We sometimes tend to forget it, or we are sometimes pushed to forget it or to ignore it, or to push it away because, well, um, there is what is called life and all the things we have to do, right? Um, Nevertheless, it is still important to keep in mind that we are still part of what is called nature or um, life, and therefore we need to, it's really a need for us to stay and be connected to um, our other relatives. And this is like very much at the center of indigenous knowledge systems, and as we can see in Africa or in the diaspora, staying connected to the people we relate with. And by the people, I would say, let's look at these words from a more conceptual approach. Like, people doesn't only cover human beings, it also includes other living beings. Um, so we belong to a collective or to a group of people that goes beyond just us human beings. And therefore it includes those that we call vegetals, the other animals, right? And um, having this consciousness at the center of the decisions we make, how we carry ourselves, is very much at the center of indigenous knowledge systems. Like the way we relate to others, um, when we consider that we are all connected, and by all, it's not only humans, that the way I act, I speak, I think, the decision I make has an impact on others, and that I'm also responsible for um, not that I'm responsible for the actions, but I'm responsible for the fact that they also need space to um like to fulfill what they need for their well-being, right? This create a sense of how can I say um yeah, another sense of consciousness, another sense of awareness maybe, that um, guides or uh, stays with us along our journey, along our life journey. And I know that I'm saying all that, and at the same time, unfortunately, in um, today's world, it's absolutely not what we see um, in majority, right? And so it might be confusing. Maybe some of you might be thinking, okay, all of that is nice, well said. I would love to live like in such a world, but it's not the case. And maybe there is no one around you living that way, or even no one that you can practice that with, or maybe you even have never experienced that with anyone, because while it's possible as well, even for people from the African continent and living on the continent, the way we relate to each other is completely different from what I'm saying now. Um, Not so many people live that way, and not only live but have this in mind, like um, look at life that way and have this approach, even though it's um, it's part of our like systems. Well, we know that in the meantime, colonization happened, and it has impacted us a lot, especially um, it has especially impacted the way we relate to each other, the way we think, the way we approach life, like the way we see things, the way we embrace life, the way we understand what life is about. And when this is changed, then all of the rest is changed, right? When you, I mean, we all know that one way or the other, when you shift the way you see things, then you can change the way you operate, the way you speak, the way you dress, the way you eat, the way you, whatever you want, right? So, yeah, I know it might be challenging to embrace this path, this way of seeing life. Nevertheless, it doesn't mean that, um, yeah, it's not worth it, or that we should completely leave it behind. I don't see any reason for that. So, yeah, if maybe you haven't experienced it yet, I would say don't despair. Um, it's not too late. And you know what it is said, you haven't met yet all the people who are going to love you. So who knows what can happen, and especially when it can happen. So I wish you well. I'm just doing a slight turn for you so you can see them again. And let's take care of ourselves and of each other.